The Global Asbestos Awareness Week has always been an important event in the calendar for Digby Brown. One of the aims is to raise awareness that asbestos is still with us, it's still a disease, and it still poses a risk to people coming into contact with it. The asbestos that was exported over 150 years ago is now in the schools, in the hospitals, that we are all working and living in.
Over 5,000 people died of asbestos-related disease according to the latest numbers. Now that compares with just over 1,600 road deaths in the UK. That is why we need to raise awareness of these avoidable deaths and take steps to reduce the carnage that's still being caused as a result of asbestos exposure.
Many of my clients don't think anybody knew it was dangerous when they were exposed to asbestos. When they were a 15-year-old apprentice in the 1960s, they didn't have a clue that the material they were using was deadly, but their employer did, or should have known that it was deadly. There are very few solicitors in the UK who specialise in asbestos disease work. It's not the sort of work that you can do on an occasional basis and have one or two cases here or there. You need to be engrossed on it. I say it's a privilege for us to be let into people's lives at these hugely challenging times and try to get them the justice that they deserve, because they need to know that they're in that position. It's somebody's fault. Someone has failed to do what they should have done to look after them. So we're the ones that can hopefully achieve some justice for them.
I would advise anyone diagnosed with an asbestos-related disease to ask for help, first and foremost. Do not ignore the diagnosis. Most asbestos-related diseases are quite benign. They're not necessarily going to develop into anything more serious. But what they are is they're an indicator of past asbestos exposure. And it's the fact of that past exposure, as evidenced by the diagnosis, that creates a risk that something more serious can happen in the future. And as lawyers, we can help protect against that risk, provided we're instructed in time. So the answer is, don't do nothing, seek legal advice.